Welcome back. You lot voted for it, so I'm here to deliver. Today I'll be breaking down Jupiter's Legacy by Mark Miller. And get ready, because you guys saw the evil of supervillains in Wanted. You will see the evil of the heroes in this one. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. It really helps a lot. And I mean, the more you guys like, the more I make. Trust me. So this comic starts out in the most ridiculous way possible. A group of friends wanted to travel on a boat to a mysterious island. A mysterious island that supposedly doesn't exist on any map. They have never seen or heard of. But because one person saw it in their dream. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? I saw an island calling to me in my dream, and it wants me to come along with some of my most trusted friends. And they all went, because apparently this guy was the beacon of hope and the beacon of truth. So they didn't even question it. But they went, and this was the start of a fantastical life for all of them. But this was also the harbinger of death. Because if not for this island, what happened definitely wouldn't have happened. Even the captain of the boat was like, is this guy crazy? But they all believed him, because the world was in the toilet right now. And he saw hope. This island gave him hope. This island gave him a chance to fix the world that is broken. All of them went to this place by fate alone. And thankfully, the fates were right. The island was there. No one could actually believe their eyes. But yes, it was. And because of this, all of them, every single member of his party, got abilities. Fast forward into the future. They are now older and they have had kids. And this is where our story takes place, because we are introduced to the sons and daughters of the first generation of heroes. Right now, they're just basically celebrities. They are influencers that everybody wants to be around, and most people want to make love to. Girls were pulling up to this guy, asking him to sign whatever they have. And he really wasn't interested, telling them to go wait for him in the bathroom. And he'll be there in 1 hour. They got pissed off and walked away. But he could say shit like that because he was the son of the Utopian, this world's version of Superman. And even after saying all of that, they still came back and told him, okay, they'll wait in the bathroom. Can you imagine that type of influence? But while those kids were having fun, the other heroes' kids, they were fighting a monster with their parents. And they were losing. Because this monster was basically the dark side of their world. He was fighting the whole hero community and they were still losing. But thankfully, the heroes had one more person in their back pocket. The hero that had the power to mess with your mind, relieve you of all your bodily function and keep you trapped in your brain. He was literally telling this guy that, oh, you're getting beaten to death outside. Oops, they just broke your spine. And he was there having cake in his mind. The heroes of this world were putting in work. And it paid off. Because they brought him down. After all this time. When all this was done, he asked for his kids. But his kids never showed. They were all cokeheads. And his brother told him to lay off. That they're actually just kids. He has been putting pressure on his kids for so long. Expecting them to come out perfect. To be his heir to his heroics. But they are just people, honestly. And his brother is trying to make him understand it. But that wasn't all his brother wanted. His brother wanted them to be playing a more active role in ruling the world. They were heroes. They were geniuses. Right now, the world was in financial crisis and they could help it. But he said, no, we are servants of the people. We're not their rulers. Everyone here, stay out of politics. And he flew off. And this should tell you what's happening next. Because people hate this guy. He was basically the jailer for superheroes when they could be doing anything they wanted. Back with his kids though, his daughter was just in her apartment hanging out with friends. When suddenly she felt dizzy. But she was a super, so it wasn't normal. She fell over crashing into her table. This moment right here was the moment everything went to shit. Because her brother was drunkenly using his telepathy to carry a ship over a continent while he was drunk. Of course, you know how that turned out. The ship was literally falling apart, but thankfully his father was there. In front of all his friends, his father ripped him a new one. You are pathetic. You are an embarrassment. And he spoke to his father back. You have been pushing pressure on me ever since I was born. I'm not perfect. And his father knew that more than most. Yes, you aren't perfect. Nobody was. Even his daughter was currently pregnant. But not even for a regular guy, no. For the son of a supervillain, wielding a magic wand. This wand, anywhere he says, the wand will go. Anyone who's holding it will go to that exact location. So when some guys came to threaten him, the one holding the wand was transported to shark-infested waters, where he died gruesomely. And he just called back home, and the wand came back. Because right now, he was not in the mood. Right now, he was with his baby girl. And the hero's civil war was about to begin. Because after telling his brother to leave politics alone, he didn't listen. So he had to come there himself and embarrass his own brother. And this pushed his brother to the edge. So a plan was devised between his brother and his son to take him down. But the Utopian at his core was good, because he was still living an ordinary life. And that day, he wanted to talk to the father of his daughter's child. He didn't trust him one bit because he was the son of a villain. More on him later. Anyways, he trusted his father before, and his father betrayed the Utopian. But before they could finish a conversation, the Utopian noticed something coming into orbit. Something dangerous. Something that could destroy a whole continent. He had to go. So he went. And at the same time, his daughter was meeting up with her mother. But before they could even talk, she was attacked, thrown out of her own house by her cousin. Her mother tried to help, but she couldn't get to her. She was surrounded by heroes. Her fellow teammates were about to lay the work on her. The Utopian, on the other hand, had to protect the Earth. But there was no threat to the Earth. This was all a trap, just to weaken him. The explosions were nuclear powered, so they lit up the sky like a sun. And from that one explosion, the Utopian fell, drained of power. He was getting beat down by the heroes, all saying, "You should have treated us nicely." As they pummeled him into the ground, everyone got a licking. Back at his home, his wife was putting the works on the other heroes. Only, she really wasn't. She was in the mindscape. She was just standing there, while on the outside, all the heroes were attacking her. And when she was back to reality, she was dead, skewered by weaponry and ammunition. He had just killed the wife of his brother. Her daughter had to watch as she died to the hands of her former teammates, being held back by her cousins, her actual blood cousins. And now she was about to die by her uncle's hand. He was inches away from doing this too, when the prick with the magic wand came and took his girl away, teleporting her around the world to escape the heroes. But they were heroes, putting up a good chase around the world till they managed to go somewhere with no heroes. But the heroes weren't bothered because they had one person to take care of. The Utopian was still getting his ass beat by every hero he had ever trained. He was calling out to his team, but his team was standing before him, beating the life out of him, only for them to stop because his son was here. The leader of this rebellion was his own blood. He begged his son to stop this. He pleaded with him, but he wasn't listening. With tears in his eyes, he roasted his father's brain in front of the hero community. This ain't no the boys. This hurt. Surely had lost both her mother and her father by the hands of her brother and uncle. She was coming for blood, but for now, she had to mourn. And her uncle and brother were triumphant in their rebellion. But now, the United States of America and the world were theirs to control.